One of the more powerful things that you can do to set yourself up to succeed in the upcoming year is to really do what I call preloading, right? Like we're going to kind of sketch everything out. I think a lot of people, including me, do some decent work when it comes to annual planning. We'll talk about what we want to achieve. We'll even maybe sketch out the first 90 days, or in my case, 6 weeks. But when it comes to preloading your year, I think that there are a couple things that really can drive your success forward that go beyond the traditional annual planning. One is cash flowing your calendar. By cash flowing your calendar, what I mean is really plugging things into the calendar. Getting, like, we use a year at a glance calendar, and plugging the things in that you know are going to be critical for you to be successful. Now, we talk to clients about having a monthly marketing plan where they're going to make offers every week, where they're going to be reactivating clients or reconnecting with them. Or they're going to be doing some sort of referral outreach or promotion each month, where they're going to be doing a request or an ask for reviews. Periodically, they're going to be running deadline-driven offers to challenges or to promote a program with some sort of incentive, right? A discount, a gift with purchase, some sort of enrollment closing. Just putting that on the calendar each month in advance. You don't even have to fill in the blanks on exactly the details of the program, like what the theme of something might be or what the offer might be. But if you have the dates on the calendar, if you've plugged it in and said, okay, on February 12th, we're going to be sending out this invitation offer, or on March 20th, we're going to be doing a referral ask. Well, once you've plugged these things in, and if you actually adhere to your calendar, and then, I'll talk a little bit more about the planning part of this in a moment. If you plug all this stuff in and then take it a step further and say, okay, this is when I'm going to be doing my personal profit, my personal profit pipeline outreach, which is something that we do that's kind of like networking, but it's being proactive in reaching out to the people in your connection database with some strategic kind of offers or conversation starters or that sort of thing. Plugging that into your calendar, that it may take 10 minutes a day and you do it a couple days a week. Plugging staff meetings or, team development stuff into your calendar. The more that you can kind of choreograph your year, so you're really kind of set up to do things, and you've got these containers of time outlined to do the things that you know are going to matter most, the easier it's going to be to not only be successful, but to structure each week in advance and know that your priorities are, they're on the calendar. They have time allocated to them. Everything else can kind of fall around them. So you can really schedule this first. So you need probably a year at a glance calendar, whether you use a wall calendar to do it kind of analog, or I use a Google Sheet calendar to put all this together so I can link different documents with templates and tools to each of those preloaded kind of days, topics, times. So that's the first thing. We want to have our kind of preloaded year, our cash flow calendar. The second is using a planning system. And I'll walk through ours really briefly, but it's been a game changer. I mean, it's good enough that, we do this for even other businesses outside the fitness industry at this point, because it's that powerful. It provides accountability, it provides structure, and really sets people up to succeed. So in our world, we use 6-week cycles. I just tend to prefer those over quarterly or 90-day type of windows of time, because I think it's easier to forecast how things are going to be, what your circumstances are going to be, how much capacity you have 6 weeks out. So it's easier to plan and actually stay on the plan, how long things will take. All of that, I think that we have a better handle on the more that we kind of zoom in and it's closer to us. So we like 6 weeks because it's long enough to accomplish projects, install processes, really get some things done. But it's short enough that we can kind of see things clearly and know, what we actually have the capacity to manage. So we start with that. We identify, you know, 3, 4, 5 priorities for the upcoming 6-week cycle. And then we start to reverse engineer those. We say, okay, what's this going to look like? What do I need to do week by week to stay on track? So that's step one. Step two, we use our win the week approach, and this is something that we do on a weekly basis. Actually, my wife Holly facilitates this in our organization. We've got multiple coaches facilitating individual sessions. But what we do is we meet at a designated time each week with a group of business owners, and they identify what they got done in the previous week, what their priorities are for the upcoming week. We kind of unpack those, see if we need to help dial something in, provide some tips on how to make it happen, connect people with resources or people that can move them forward to make sure that they achieve the wins that they're trying to accomplish. And, you know, we pick 1, 2, or 3 priorities for the upcoming week based on the capacity we have. We already have things that are scheduled, right? We already have things that we're obligated to. So you only have so many available containers of time. Well, we look at that and say, well, what can I get done to move me forward towards those bigger 6-week targets? And we just break things down and kind of follow that reverse engineered roadmap that I touched on a moment ago. When you do that, and then you're clear about it, you actually you've kind of framed this up in a manageable, achievable format instead of abstract. Oh, I need to get clients, I need to generate leads, but you actually have something that is achievable, hopefully motivating, right? Like you want to have something that inspires you to do the work. But you scheduled it first, right? Like we've all heard the kind of big rocks versus pebbles as far as prioritizing things. Well, these are your big rocks for the week, right? We are scheduling things that are important to us to achieve the goals that we have to kind of reach that level of personal and professional success that we seek. We put those on the calendar. We do a check-in each week. Like I said, Holly facilitates that. So she reaches out via text and checks in with people. Hey, are you on track? Are you off track? Do you need any help? And keeps people moving until their upcoming weekly check-in where they report on it. And we kind of score it. You know, did we get there? Did we get 75% of the way there? 50%, 25%? Did we not make any progress? I don't think it's binary. I don't think it was all or nothing. Because if you made progress, I mean, think about it. Like, let's say you're trying to write a book and you set out a goal to write 1,500 words. Well, if you got 1,000 done, it's progress. It may not be what you originally achieved, but hopefully the next week you'll be better at kind of forecasting what is realistic to accomplish. But it's still progress. So we want to recognize that and keep the ball moving forward. And then the third part of this kind of planning approach that we take is owning the day. And that's scheduling your upcoming day, the evening prior, knowing what you need to accomplish, kind of looking at that week and that 6-week cycle and saying, okay, what do I need to do to stay on track with these based around the things that I'm already responsible for? And doing that is really powerful because it allows you to kind of close the file in each day. If you do it at the end of the day, doesn't matter if things went off the rails. It doesn't matter if things didn't go the way you planned. You're setting yourself up for success tomorrow. So it kind of clears the mechanism, so to speak, right? So you're not letting this stuff linger in your head. You're not still frustrated about it. You got a clean slate and you're set up to succeed tomorrow. So I think that calendared approach to the things that are important to you to move forward, those production-based things, how you're going to generate more clients, generate more revenue, generate more leads, how you're going to make your team better, all that stuff. If it's on the calendar, it doesn't have to, like those containers don't have to be filled in. You don't have to know what the topics are for your team meetings 2 months out, but you do need to know that you're going to have team meetings if you expect them to happen with some sort of consistency. And then planning, it's just, okay, how do we take control of our time? Because if you can't control your time, it's going to be really hard to control your business and achieve your goals. So If you want to preload your year, those two things combined, the cash flowing your calendar and using a planning system, whether it's ours or some other planning system, that's the answer. So that's how you preload your year.